We'll start with that. So, touch on moral code. What would you say? There's a lot of ethical dilemmas in the world, stemming from stem cell research to ISIS to abortion, anything in between. So what do you think are some of the biggest issues and ethical dilemmas in our society?
The biggest one for me, by far, no question, is the pursuit of transgender rights.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're seeing that a lot, especially with that Bruce Jenner interview that came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Laverne Cox coming through as the star in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
So there's visibility for transgender people for the first time in the world, and basically in all of social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of visibility, and transgender people, 41% of them attempt to commit suicide. That's a staggering amount of people when you consider that the general population is in the single digits.
Yeah.
For a percentage of suicide rate. But I think that that's a really big problem because we have so much discrimination that stems from that,
mm-hmm.
and we're seeing the progression of gay rights is on a really solid track right now. It's not just the visibility that matters. It's about getting the laws involved and getting everyone else involved, and that's not happening for transgender people, and they face so much discrimination because of it. Mm-hmm. In the workplace, our government literally discriminates against transgender people. So I think that it's really, really a huge ethical dilemma.
Gotcha. All right. And you touched on it a little bit there. They asked us to ask a question about specifics on one of those. So take abortion or homosexuality for. We'll do homosexuality.
I can do another one of those too. If that's not one.
No, that's perfect. No, that's great. So what are your thoughts and opinions on, like you said, the gay rights movement and how that's progressing, and what are your views on that?
Well, honestly, I think that everyone's kind of been wasting their time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not a waste of time to fight for it when you're trying to gain those rights. But I feel like as a society as a whole, we've wasted so much time on a debate where the debate is not about what is, or at least for me, we're talking about ethics here, so I probably shouldn't talk about government. Never mind. I was going to say, from a government's aspect, there's no reason for this debate, but ethically, I think that when it comes to being recognized by the government, it's I feel like it's unethical to allow those rights to people because the government isn't using a bias of religion in those things. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the arguments that come up against gay marriage are religious-based or family-based, which usually have, I don't think they have very strong cases for themselves, at least. But I think that it's a ethical problem that is really going to be solved soon, especially with the court case that's going on right now in the Supreme Court. So.
Yeah.
I guess all I'm saying is, I think that it's an ethical problem that's not a thing, mm-hmm. and I think that we've wasted a lot of time arguing about it when the government should just recognize it, because not everybody needs to agree with it for it to be recognized by the government.
Yeah.
And to disagree with something on your own moral compass does not mean that the government has to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And everybody can use their own moral compasses to guide their decisions.
Right.
But it's not for them to impose that on the government. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
We're talking about government, we're talking about the actual ethical part, because I might want to re-answer that question depending on the fact.
No, your answer is fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, that's good. Don't worry.
Okay.
Because